Hey guys, what is up, and welcome to the third ever episode of the TFC Fancast. That is right. So, this is the first time I've ever done Fancast, and they have lost. So, it was a disappointing result to put into the least, but let's go through the motions, let's go through the gears, and I think it's more than a good time to start out on this. So, obviously, going into the game, I was very much looking forward to this. Obviously, this is an MLS Cup rematch, and I was expecting TFC to do the business, and the game meant a lot more to me because a few hours before I found some tickets on Ticketmaster for around like 15, 16 bucks, and actually got to go sit in the supporter section. So it was a lot of fun actually, and yeah, I was looking forward to it very, very much indeed. But yeah, but the reason why I was coming into the game and being confident was because Seattle had lost basically three out of their past five and had drawn one. Only won one game. So they weren't doing very well. Actually, you know what? Won only like, I think, one out of six games. So to come in this game, I obviously had reason to be confident, right? Especially after TFC's recent win. So, yeah, the game starts. And the lineups have me pretty happy, actually, to be honest. As TFC started out with a 4-1-4-1, so Bono in goal. You had Arrow, Vanderveel, who I have to admit, after this game, I'm not a fan of him as a center back. Physical forwards, he really can't handle. Bradley was okay, just not enough pace, to be honest. And then Morgan, I was happy with because before the game, I didn't actually realize that, well, he was going to play so poorly. And then Marky Delgado was pretty decent. I was pretty happy with that. And then Chapman, I was very pleased to see after he played well in our previous match. There was Cathay, Vasquez, and Osorio. I was okay with that. I was a little annoyed about Osorio not shooting enough, but I didn't think that would be a problem. And then Sebastian Giovinco as a striker. For Seattle, they set up an ultra-defensive 5-4-1 with Sebastian Frey in goal, Francis, Alfaro, Marshall, Svensson, and McCrary in back. They had Buana, Delem, Roldan, and Ikrem, with Bruin up top there. And, yeah, it was a very good start for us. We created a lot of chances in that previous match. And I feel like it was quite unfair for us not even to get a goal early on. However, after creating all the chances in the world, talking about goals, of course, well, Will Bruin gets a goal now. So Michael Bradley, around the halfway line, gets nutmegged. And instead of being smart, tactically fouling him and just taking a yellow card, he just lets him run on past him. And then he actually goes along and passes it to Will Bruin, who, credit to him, was a good finish. But again, Vanderveel did poorly, just stuck out like a very limp leg, and it was just poor, and then nothing Bono could do there. So I feel like it was a very poor goal to concede. But it took us about 10 minutes after, but we started to shift it into full gear. As coming in the 37th minute, actually, we won a free kick out of the edge of the box. I thought it was a penalty, personally. But it actually turns out it was outside the box. And Giovinco, from a free kick, hit the crossbar. Then Jay fucking Chapman missed from 2 yards. But then, obviously, let's shift back to goals. So, Jonathan Osorio, 40th minute, came off a corner. A header came in, lobbed over the goalkeeper, and Osorio just knocked it into the net. Good goal. I mean, he hadn't shot enough, but I mean, I was willing to forgive him after that. I thought it was the edge of our problems. However, now VAR comes up again, because Handwala Bawana scores in the 54th minute on an assist from Will Bruin, and now it's poor from our defense. It's a terrible pass from Bradley, who had a very poor game, in my opinion. And he was offside, basically, by an inch, but he was offside. And the referee, yet again, any decision that could benefit us, VAR is not used. It's too damn subjective. And a goal that shouldn't have been able to count did nutmeg Bono, and Seattle had the 2-1 win. And yeah, there's no other goals than that, really. So, time to talk about my thoughts from the game now. So, what are my thoughts, honestly? Firstly, Azorio needs to be dropped. Yes, he's getting into good positions, but this guy has no confidence. He cost the team a result today. 2 minutes later, actually, he had a chance from like 8 yards out and put it 3 feet wide. It was unacceptable from Azorio. A really poor game. Then Chapman had missed the season. Obviously, when it hit off the crossbar right from Giovinco, 2 feet out, he misses it over the net. I thought it bounced off the crossbar and up. No, no, no. It went down, and he missed it. And really, it felt like we suck without Altidore. I'm sorry. But if a team gets too physical on Giovinco and ticks him off, he'll take dumb shots, and we never retain the ball. So then, coming into halftime, I'm going to get some popcorn. And then what do I see? No Victor Vasquez on the pitch. It turns out he picked up a calf strain, but I have no idea why he wouldn't try to just run that off for about 10 minutes. So Ryan Telfer comes on. Literally equivalent of shit. Absolutely useless. This man was a back pass merchant at his worst, man. He was absolutely atrocious, and he was just, the second he got on, I wanted him off so badly. Honestly, I would rather have Toussaint Ricketts on. But you see, Greg Vanny seemed to be rather misguided in this game because Jay Chapman got subbed off in the 59th minute for Jordan Hamilton, whom I swear to God is a god-awful striker. Holy crap. Is he poor? It's just poor, man. Just really poor from him, and it was just quite frustrating, to be honest. So we did actually rectify that mistake because we did bring on Toussaint Ricketts in the 70th minute. But what ticked me off was Azorio didn't come off, because Azorio was very poor in the second half and just wasn't doing anything useful for us. So I don't understand why he wouldn't be taken off. So Ricketts came on, though. He was pretty decent, created some decent chances. But we just kept on missing chances, really. And then there's one cross whipped in the 90th minute, 93rd minute actually. It was headed down, and Toussaint Ricketts had the chance to equalize from 5 yards out. Fucking Sebastian Fry makes a ridiculous save. Just gets his body on it, just jumps forward and gets enough. Pushes it away from the goal. It's kicked out, and a few seconds later, it's over. And that was really the game there. Just frustration. Just as a whole, our finishing was absolutely atrocious. There's no way to put it. Absolutely atrocious there. So, yeah, that was just... And Seattle were so bad, man. It wasn't that Seattle was good. We were just bad. It was just ridiculous, man. It was just absolutely ridiculous. There's no way to put it. And, yeah, it's just, sometimes I have to question luck because, yeah, really, it's just, quite stupid in all honesty, and, Seattle didn't deserve a victory, but we just pretty much gifted it to them through what I would call pathetic finishing. So, yeah, in terms of technical, in terms of the formation, I noted that Seattle actually did switch from a 5-4-1 at the start to, in my opinion, playing more of a 4-5-1 or actually a 4-4-2 at times. I found that actually Alfaro would kind of switch into midfield a little bit, and in the end I found also that McCrary would, to kind of just double up on the side of Sebastian Giovinco. So really they did probably a smart job there by, of course, dealing with that threat. But it wasn't really as much tactical masterclass from Seattle because, in all reality, Giovinco was just too selfish. Would not pass when he should have, and it was not good. It was just not good there, and yeah, it was just kind of frustrating. For us, we ended up switching to a 4-4-2 at the end. Obviously, Delgado, Vasquez, and Chapman came on. And in the end, the Telfer guy kind of played at left midfield, and Morgan played as a wing back. And then, yeah, it was just not much of a tactical change, really. I mean, Giovinco obviously had some support with Ricketts, but I just don't understand why we refuse to play with two strikers. I swear to goodness, it is ridiculous. We won't play with two strikers. Giovinco's just left alone, gets pissed off, and then just does petulant, stupid shit. It's just ridiculous, man. However, actually, you know what? In fairness, forgot about the main tactical thing I want to talk about now. And that was our use of the ball and our use of possession, which we had a lot of. But, actually, in fact, if you take a look at it, we had 67% possession. But guess we didn't use? Our wings. To put it simply, Morgan's touch was shite. Our was good, but we never used our wings. We would always take 3 to 4 passes to shift from Our to Vanderveer, Vanderveer Delgado, and Delgado to Morgan, or Bradley to Delgado to Vanderveer to Chapman, or Bradley to Delgado to Vasquez to Osorio. It was never just Vanderveer to Osorio, pass to Vasquez to Chapman to Giovinco. There's no cross-field creativity. It was so frustrating because we kept on playing up the middle. And when Seattle was playing mostly a 4-5-1 or a 4-4-2 with maybe more of a defensive forward, it's just so frustrating because you're just not using the space that they're giving you on the wings. And it's just quite ridiculous. And talking about tactics, actually, Michael Bradley was used as way too much of a ball carrier, if I'm being honest here. Vanderveer actually is quite impressive what he can do on the ball, and I think he really does deserve to actually have his spot on here. And I think it's going to be hard once Drew Moore comes back. Actually, no, it's not going to be that hard. Delgado or Osorio is probably going to get dropped, to be fair. But at the same time, I think Vanderveer honestly needs to stay in this team somehow. Whether that means he plays as a right wing back, maybe Auro plays the right winger, which, I mean, to be honest with Auro, I wouldn't be too upset seeing him as a right winger, because I actually kind of like what he can do as a right winger, or even a right midfielder. Imagine, because this guy is okay defensively, I have to say. He's not amazing, but he's pretty good. He's definitely at the level we need for defense. But at the same time, I think Vanderveer could definitely be a decent defender there and provide some good width. But I think Auro would be so much better used as a right midfielder, which would then really give us more versatility and actually maybe give more space to the other wings. And one final thing I want to note tactically was yet again Agar Kethe. We used him to play like a 3 in the back sometimes in possession. So it would be Bradley, Vanderveer, and Kethe there, just as a basically a way to keep possession and look for more incisive passing lanes. So yeah, I think that's really it for the actual look at the tactics. So now I'd like to preview the upcoming game as we play against the New England Revolution. So they've been, I would say, fairly decent so far in the season. Nothing particularly incredible to say. They're like in the playoff spot, but they've played. Oh wait, no. In fairness, yeah, TFC's in trouble, man. We have only that loss was devastating because now we only have one more game than New England. Like, it's worrying. It's really worrying if I'm being honest here. I'm starting to have serious doubts of whether we can actually make the playoffs. Because we need. The fact is, Toronto FC needs a win way more than New England. If we get a win here, we're at least within striking distance of the playoffs, and we still have another game in hand on them, so we could get that gap down to 1 point. But if we don't win this game, I don't think we're going to be able to make the playoffs. I'm going to be honest here. I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. This is such a key game. Yeah, it's just quite disappointing if I'm being honest here. And sometimes you just say not good enough, and I have to agree there. But talking about New England's recent run-in, so they've actually played in the last few weeks the Montreal Impact. So they lost against Montreal. They won against Sporting, drew against Columbus, lost against Dallas, won against Montreal, and won against Houston actually. So they're doing pretty decent. If I'm being honest here, they're doing pretty decent. They're playing pretty well. They're going to be a real threat for us. And to be honest, I'm very glad that Lee Nguyen has left to LAFC because we would struggle against them without it, with their absolute pittance of a defense that we have right now. So, what is my opinion? What is my prediction for a match review? To be honest, I am praying for 2-1 or 2-0 TFC. Okay, you know what? I think 3-2 TFC. I think 3-2 TFC. We're going to concede a goal or two, but hopefully we can outscore them in this game. And that game will at least get us back into playoff contention, and will hopefully serve us up pretty well for the next little while. So yeah, I think that's realistically it for the podcast. It's a bit of a shorter one, but there just wasn't as much to talk about through the game. That's the thing. Was like the referees sucked, yes, but it was just like I can't. What's the point of going on a 2-minute rant about how bad the ref is? It's just literally the ref was bad. Like there's no other way to put it. The ref was just absolutely and utterly atrocious there. And yep. Well, that's going to be it for the podcast. It's a short one, and admittedly, last time it was the first ever one was 25 minutes. And I think I would like to get back to that in the future, around that length. But for now, it's fine. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Peace! Up the Reds!